Shalom everybody, it's Kalela Kelly or Irish Stew. I'd like to watch a clip that's actually set in the UK. Migrant hotels, far-right protesters, and the state of Britain as a bastion of moral decay in the West. Let's have a look here. Okay. I don't know about you, but they don't look particularly right-wing to me. And I'm not quite sure why the flag of, is it St. George? It's one of the British saints, the English saints. Part of the Union Jack flag is the red with the white background. She doesn't look particularly right-wing. She doesn't look right-wing. She looks too nice. I don't know what's going on with his cap, but they look like kind of ordinary people. Yeah. Deport foreign criminals, not welcome. They're not welcome. They shouldn't be. Defend our girls. Yeah, I mean, it's undeniable and there's incontrovertible proof that when England has been allowing in masses and masses and masses of military-aged single men who then come in and get escorted to a lovely hotel, courtesy of the British taxpayer. I mean, this is a rort. This is clearly a rort. There's clearly some sort of plan to this insanity. And it has been shown that those men, more often than not, then go and assault or harass women and girls who are passing by in the street. For some bizarre reason, the powers that be have been placing these migrant men next to, you won't get it, to primary schools, to homes where there are children and young girls. It's almost like the people in charge of the UK, the people in charge of Border Patrol, want this to happen because they are letting it happen. And all of a sudden, the might of the brilliant British Navy and the warships and the boats and the patrol boats and the machinery that's involved in protecting one's nation, all of a sudden that's gone out the window, and these men are coming over on human trafficked, gangster run flotillas, boats, whatever you want to call them. It's a whole industry. People are making a shit ton of money about it. So clearly there's some sort of scheme that's going on with this human trafficking, and that's what it is. It's human trafficking into the UK. I have no idea how they think it's going to play out, but it's already playing out terribly. So defend our girls is a call to that. And I don't think that's a particularly right-wing philosophy to care about the dignity and sexual safety of your children. Pro-asylum seeker demonstrators. How are these men seeking asylum? Why are they all men? Where are the children? Where are the women? And why are they seeking asylum in the UK? If you're a refugee, all you need to do is leave your country of origin and move to another country, to the next country next door, and then they should take you in. That's the definition of a refugee. There is absolutely no say that they have to then go waltzing up through Africa or across the Middle East and then specifically go to the UK after traveling through multiple other countries to get there. That is not a refugee. That is someone taking advantage of the system. Far right are not welcome in Epping. What makes them far right? None of these questions are asked of these morons, these utter idiots, replete with kafirs. Look at them. Utter stupidity. Look at this guy. Good God. Pro-asylum seeker demonstrators. They have zero interest in hearing the truth, zero interest in hearing what is going on to the victims of this unchecked, illegal immigration traffic ring, which is what it is. Utter nonsense. Nazi scum. I mean, I didn't see any swastikas in the first protest by these crazy right-wingers, did you? No, because there aren't any. Again, appropriating the term Nazi and just throwing it around like confetti and seeing where it lands, darling. That's an absolutely brilliant policy. Let's just keep doing that. Let's keep watering down what actual Nazis did. Let's keep attacking the genuine victims of the Nazis, the Jews, and then let's appropriate it and then splash it around on anybody that we don't like. Let's just call them a Nazi. Nazi scum off our streets. Well, half of you bastards are being shipped in, courtesy of the police. You're a rent-a-mob left-wing protesters. You don't actually belong to any of those places, so you're full of shit on that front. But how are they your streets? And why is it that you're allowed to claim the streets, but people who are worried about their children and their girls are not allowed to claim the streets? I'm confused. Why is it that those streets are suddenly now property of these illegal trafficked immigrants? Why? Why can't they be the streets of Britons in general? Why are they your streets? And why do right-wingers have to get off your streets? They're not your streets. And why do immigrants get to run around freely and happily patrolling the area looking for girls to rape? There's no logic to the left-wing rent-a-mob bullshit, far-left Antifa, police-supported rent-a-hires. Police have beefed up security with more officers there and fences erected. And then they got the bastards that they hired and put and hid into the hotel, and then they moved them to the UK, where there are more protests going on, because this is the utter stupidity and vapidity of the British government. Headley police, there we go. Oh, here we go, here we go. Protect, protect, protect. The rapey immigrants, the illegals. Okay, so it's the far right. The far right have so much power in the UK. Apparently the far right are dividing us with their hatred. It's not the men that are running around raping girls and assaulting girls and women in the streets. Those aren't the ones that are destroying Britain. It's not Starmer and the cronies of the left and the fascistic pro-Palestinians that are destroying the UK. No, it's the right-wingers. This is such a load of crap. This narrative is such a load of bullshit. Their hatred and violence, absolutely, again, ignoring the actual violence committed by these illegal migrants. Unbelievable. Yeah, so it's all cooking off in the West, and this is just like the moral decay of this whole situation happening in England is appalling to watch. And it breaks my heart seeing a once fantastic nation, a proud nation, carrying on with this crap. An Ethiopian asylum seeker was charged with sexual offences. I don't understand why, these men who are supposedly asylum seekers, why they're so rapey. What is that about? You'd think that if you're looking for asylum somewhere and you want to set yourself up in a new country, you'd think that you'd be there with good intentions, right? You'd be grateful for your freedom, grateful for the opportunity to start life again. And yet the very first thing that half these mother FOs do is to go out and try and rape girls. Something ain't adding up. Yeah. It's just another kind of, situation happening in the West, in across Europe. It's mind-boggling. Again, it's the suicidal empathy thing that Gad Saad talks about. It's the bullshit suicide by the West that Douglas Murray says. And it's really astonishing to watch that. And then you look here. Isn't this interesting here? King and Conqueror trailer.
Like a fire. Unchecked, it will destroy everything.
Harold, we're bound together. Normandy and Wessex together. Maybe you and I.
Okay, well then that's back in the past when the UK actually had balls and when they stood for something and when they were real fighters. And the British, I believe and know at heart, are real fighters, but they have been asleep for a very long time. And the flip side of their ability to act like lions and to be strong and brilliant, the flip side of that is this bizarre politeness. And I noticed that when I lived in London too, after the Manchester Arena bombing. And then the stabby attacks in London. And it was such a strange thing because it wasn't reported on the media in a way that was clear about the nature of the attacks, i.e. they were Islamist sociopaths committing suicide and waging jihad against the filthy girls at those places, at Ariana Grande's concert, for example. And And I just remember feeling like the English were so restrained and so polite, and nobody said anything about the fact that these were terrorist attacks. They didn't acknowledge that this was an Islamist attack on innocent young girls. And if that was in Australia or in other countries, certainly in the United States, there would be much more honesty and integrity and openness about the nature of these crimes. So just those are two clips that I saw on the internet, and I think it's really sad that this is happening in the UK. And it makes me think of Israel. It makes me think, you know, being a Jew, at least we know that we're at war. At least we know, yes, people hate us. Yes, we are the eternal black sheep, but we have a mission and we have a purpose. And I feel like England has lost its way. It has no purpose. And that is truly depressing to watch. You know, at least Israel is fighting for its survival, and it knows that it is. It's at the pointy end of the spear. England is in some bizarre nightmare, foggy dream where people are sleepwalking into a heinous and horrendous future. It's going to be so freaking grim. And I appreciate, in that regard, thank you Hashem, for the sharpness of what it means to be a Jew, the sharp pointy end of the spear, where you can see evil, you can see what the enemy is, and you can name it. And that's what Israel does. And the rest of the world can put their hands up and pretend not to hear and la 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 la, and keep coasting on the peace and fluffiness that our grandfathers fought for in World War II against actual Nazis. And they can keep coasting along for maybe a few more years, but it's all going to go to shit. And by then they're going to go, oh, maybe we should have had some of that clarity that Israel has and that the Jews have been facing, certainly since October 7, when we woke up from our own reverie. Well, there we go. Good luck. Bye.